Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Stories and Sorceries, where we're recording a little special episode to get to know two of our cast members for the next campaign and their characters. There will be a follow-up episode with the other two characters, but that'll be for another time. So, Rob, Bren,
Hello, DM.
What's up, dude?
you two look like you've put so much thought into your characters, so much love and care.
So much.
Yes.
So much love.
Motherfucker.
Not a single bit of copywritten material. Not a plagiarized word.
Nope. 100%
Authentic
original.
OC content.
Let me hear about some of this original content, Bren. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your character? Who are you going to be playing in
making
campaign
Bren
two?
go first.
Damn it. Oh, that you're going to go in line. Okay.
I am. It's just going that way.
So,
Clockwise, motherfucker.
I'm a dude.
I'm a dude. He's a dude. She's a dude. Because we're all dudes, hey.
Oh, fuck me. Keep it calm. Keep it zen.
I was like, what the fuck is that noise? So, I am a level 3 human monk with the Way of the Ascendant Dragon.
Yes, that is correct.
You got it right,
I'm
guys.
so good at this game. His name is Dreg, and am I reading my backstory? Is that what I'm doing?
No, you don't have to read your backstory.
You can just
tell me a little bit about
Describe your character. What does he
Yeah.
look like?
If it takes you reading your backstory verbatim to be able
Okay.
to describe your character, then I guess
So
you
my
could.
character is roughly 6'1", 6'2", about 180, 190 pounds. Completely Goku jacked.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's pretty fucking built, isn't it?
Yeah, that's Goku jacked.
Level 3. Audience, level 3.
Level 3, yes. There's a
14 string.
C. He is from a monastery. Well, he's not from a monastery. When the campaign starts, he is from a monastery.
We'll get to
He's
that
from a
later.
monastery, but he's not from a monastery. But he's from a monastery.
You'll hear it in session 0, pretty much. I think, right? That's
I mean,
when we go over.
we'll
backstory.
get into it a little, but you just tell where you were born.
We
and
can get
stuff.
into it here.
Okay, so
They'll just hear it again in session 0.
all right,
Okay.
whatever. Drag. He was born in a small, average town.
Village.
Village, called Asheville, which when he was 1 got raided, and I was gonna say raided by raiders.
That's on brand. That's on brand.
And
I see no continuity
ironically,
errors.
the town was burnt to ash.
Sad.
About a day later,
Tragic, really.
a wandering adventurer came across this used to be town and heard some screaming and went into where Dreg's home used to be and found a hidden compartment in the floorboard where Dreg's parents put him there to keep him protected. He later gathered up some ash and put it in a pouch so Dreg would always have part of home with him. And then took him to a nearby monastery, and they took him in and took care of him, and that's where Dreg has been since.
And Dreg is how old?
What did
8,
19, 20? 19, 20-ish?
20?
I think we said 20.
20,
So he's been at this monastery for 19 years then.
yes.
No memory of home. Just told by the people who reared him that pocket of ash in that pouch of ash in your pocket?
Could or could not be his parents. He doesn't know.
Now, tell me,
Could
with
just-
how much
could just be the stove. No,
with how much tact does Dreg take that? Does he adamantly believe that this is
Oh.
all that's left?
full-heartedly.
He's been heard talking to it at night.
Bruh, he has been there since he was 1. He is the most sheltered motherfucker you have ever met. He knows nothing of the outside world. Well, not nothing. He knows what he's been told.
Yeah.
He's never experienced.
You're learning.
Book smart.
Yeah.
Never once had to live on the streets.
Oh no, this the first hustler
Well,
he
I
comes
mean-
across, he's getting swindled like
I
a
mean,
motherfucker.
I'm just saying, if you've seen this monastery, it's kind of like living on the streets.
Ain't too great.
Humble life.
Humble, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, gruel and bread, water. That's about it. Prison food.
What you need to survive: rice and bread and water.
I feel like this might be a bit of a self-inflicted
It is.
regimen.
It is said that a twin dragon can live off of 1 piece of rice a day.
Not canon. Not canon.
Stuffed it.
Okay. So, and personality-wise, how does Dreg go about his day-to-day? How serious is he about his training regimen, his dietary plans?
Oh, dude, think of fucking Vegeta. That motherfucker, Drag just goes at it, son. He's just like, yo, shadow boxing all the goddamn time. Shadow kicking.
Talking 7 meals a day. Fucking protein shakes.
7
in
grades of
between.
rice a day, son.
So super dedicated then
To training, yes.
to training.
But he's also very lively, and he likes to kid around, but not as much as like Rolo did.
So a little bit of a jokester,
A little bit, yes.
a little bit sheltered,
yes,
super into it when it comes to training.
yes, and fighting in general. So
Does-
combat.
Does he take that dedication he has for training into any other walks of life? Is there any passion that he has outside of that?
Man, let me tell you,
Oh, lay it on.
this guy can sew a great pair of trousers.
So a seamster then.
Yes.
Mhm.
All right. And where exactly does Dreg get his love of sewing from?
I'm so glad you asked. So one day, when he was about, 13 or 14, the monks at the monastery have to get their geese and pantaloons, I don't know what they're called, from somewhere.
Just skis.
Oh, is the whole outfit called
That's
geese?
the whole fucking thing. It's a
Uh,
gi.
What the fuck ever. They have to get their clothing somewhere.
There you go.
So,
Don't try to make it sound smart. Clothing. They have to get the clothing somewhere.
So, from a nearby village, there was a tailor or seamster, whatever you want to call him, who comes up and would bring up new geese that he's made or come and fix some old ones if that's all that the monks required. And 13-year-old Dreg was fascinated by this, and he was like, man, this would be really cool to learn how to do this. So he asked him. The guy's name was Alfred Needlepoint. The most fanciest of the motherfuckers that you would not think would ever live in the town that he lives in. But that's all because he makes his own clothes.
So, Dreg, his first love in this life is training in combat. Finds renewed passion in tailoring and sewing. And his second master in his life becomes Alfred Needlepoint.
Yes.
Now, I would imagine this is kind of an on and off thing. Alfred can't always be there. When Alfred comes around, does Dreg treat it as kind of a special occasion? Does he put back grains of rice to have like a feast with Alfred when he comes by?
You know what he does?
Oh my god.
he pulls out the good stuff. He pulls out the water that has been aging since the last time he was
Oh,
there.
Jesus.
Pulls out the rusty water.
Yeah.
You see, that's actually pretty topical, though, because in Alkiar,
Everybody
water
has lead poisoning.
water is a very valuable commodity. So those who can store it back and save it kind of get ahead of the curve.
Fair.
And, you know, Alfred probably very appreciative to be treated to a glass of water every now and then by this 13-year-old jacked ass Vegeta acting ass kid.
Yeah, at 13, just imagine Teen Gohan in the Cell Saga.
You see, you say Teen Gohan, but I imagine Kid Trunks.
Kid Trunks.
He was like 10. Like,
But he was yoked to the bone.
He was.
I mean,
Kid was jacked.
Look, his dad is.
True.
So, I think we've gleaned some insight into this.
I do have one more thing about the tailoring.
Oh, do you enlighten me?
So, you know how like when an artist does their little like signature or whatever when they do shit, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So when I sew things, very gently, at some point while I'm sewing it, I lick the needle, or Dreg licks the needle. He just sticks the very tip in the bag of ash and then continues to sew. So that's his mark on his clothing.
Disgusting.
His parents get to be involved in a little bit of his creation every time.
Possibly. Allegedly, it's parents.
Allegedly.
It honestly could just be the kitchen table. No one
It's
fucking
just fucking wood
knows.
Just wood ash.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no bone
It's a
fragments
nice
in
mahogany.
Dreg never even orphaned this dude just came through, kidnapped him, cast some ashes at the fireplace, dropped him off.
I mean, I don't see the point in kidnapping someone and dropping them off at a fucking monastery.
For the chaos, bro.
Like, I just doesn't seem like logical.
I've learned a lot of things about Dreg that don't exactly seem logical, so what's one more?
I mean, when you're just coming up with it as you go, it kind of happens that
See,
way.
there we go. Now we're at the crux of it. Love the improv, at least.
Oh, yeah.
That's what makes the character
Get-
great.
Gotta look at the silver linings. So, you have any other closing thoughts before I ask my final question?
I'm just really stoked about getting into this campaign.
Oh, I can't wait to see it.
Oh, me either. It's going to be so fucking great.
For my final question for you, Bren, what do you imagine Dreg's theme song to be?
So, the first one off the top of my head is not the one that I would say is best for him, but it's Kung Fu fighting.
I don't know why I expected anything more from you.
So we're gonna go with Eye of the Tiger.
Hell yes. Hell yes. Fantastic.
Right. Okay. So, learned a lot about what Bren's bringing to the table here in this next campaign. And it seems to be just as much of an agent of uncertainty and unparalleled chaos.
Oh, I forgot to say he's chaotic good.
Who would have guessed?
I'm for sure it's chaotic good this time.
Are you?
You double check.
Positive.
You double check.
Yes.
Went through the character traits and everything, was like, all right,
Yes.
got it this
I
time.
wanted to make sure.
All right, so I think everybody's going to look forward to that at least a little bit for one reason or the other.
Oh, yeah.
Rob,
Yes.
what can you tell us about your character?
Oh, I can tell you quite a bit, Will. So, I'm Rob Franks, and I'm playing a level 3 human monk, Way of the Ascended Dragon.
Wow,
Yes.
feeling risky today.
Yes. Yeah. Surprise, surprise. So my character's name is Albion. He is about 20 years old as well. No relation, by the way, to old Dreg over here, though we are in the same monastery. But
Best friends.
yeah, best friends forever. So Albion was born to middle class family. Nothing too substantial about them. Probably the greatest thing that ever happened in that family was the fact that Albion's uncle Reggie was the first person to ever in this family, rather, the first person to ever do anything to gain such renown as becoming a twin dragon at the nearby monastery of which they lived. So about the age of 5 rolls around. Albion, his entire life, has looked up to his uncle Reggie, and all he's ever talked about was how he wants to be just like him. For one reason or another, we'll get into later, his parents decided, well, we'll take him to the monastery and, drop him off there. He'll live there, he'll train out, and maybe one day he'll become a twin dragon. So he was dropped off at the monastery at the age of 5. This monastery is called the Tang Wu Monastery. It ain't nothing to fuck with, people. Ain't nothing to fuck with.
I can see Bren is just so glad to know where his character comes from.
So he spent the next 15 years. He spent the next 15 years training. Obviously, when he got there, Dreg was already there. They became very quick friends. They're best friends. They'll do anything for each other. They train together constantly. They're always together. But they fight over very nonsensical shit and immediately get over it once the fight has resolved itself. They took to training together, and there was another group that were actual twins in this monastery called the Yang Ying twins. There were some real rapscallions, those Yang Ying twins. And they were looking to become twin dragons as well. Once the trials came around, what did we discuss, Will? Every 8 years they have these trials?
Yes.
Okay, so the 8 years rolled around, and we were doing these trials, went relatively back and forth, but Albion and Dreg became victorious in these trials, became a set of twin dragons, providing Albion being the second person in his family to ever become a twin dragon. We will see if his parents are proud of him for that one day. Which gets us caught up to where we are currently going to be meeting up in the campaign. So Albion's about 6 foot even, roughly, about 180, 185. He's lean cut, He wears a, what did we discuss, Bren? It is a cut off gi shirt and
Kind of like a vest.
All right,
Yeah,
so
and
right
then
now
gi
I'm imagining
pants.
Ken.
something like that, but it's like what is it, white and blue pattern? Or is it
yeah,
all of it blue?
Yours is blue with white lining,
Yeah, blue with white lining.
where mine is red with black lining.
Right, and I have black hair.
No, gold lining. My bad.
Did you sew those
Um,
yourself?
Shoulder length, but it's like put up in one of them like samurai bun kind of deals. We do not carry weapons. We use fisticuffs. And I think that's about it as far as like actual backstory goes. Do we want to get into the reason we're meeting up, or are we saving that for session 0?
I think we'll save that for
Okay,
session 0.
that's fine. That's fine. So we don't need to go into the 12 things.
The 12 not talismans.
Yes, the very much not talismans.
Not at all.
Audience, we can't stress enough how much these are not talismans.
They're not talismans. They're not religious artifacts at all. The definition of talisman, not even close to what these things are.
Nope, rocks,
Stones.
stones. Sorry, they're stones. They might happen to have zodiac imprints on them, but they are not talismans, people.
I do think we ought to touch on what exactly it is to be a twin dragon.
Okay, so the twin dragons are chosen once every 8 years. This monastery has, obviously for secretive reasons, not a lot of people know why this is being done, but it has always been done, so people don't ask a whole lot of questions about it. Twin
The
dragons.
isolated location also
Yeah,
helps to that.
that's true. But the twin dragons are chosen. A set is chosen once every 8 years. They are to be protectors of the Tangwu Monastery. The Tangwu Monastery has long been proprietors of these 12 zodiac stones that are not talismans.
Not talismans.
Not at all.
Nope.
Say it, Bryn.
Definitely not talismans.
Thank you. Each of these stones that are not talismans have different abilities that can be used in different scenarios. Brought together and performed a ritual with, this Tangwu Monastery uses these stones to charge a protective, what would you say, Will? A protective barrier.
Ward.
A protective ward against something. No, only
The monk
masters or elders know what this is we are warding against or anything like that. We just know it's imperative that this is done. So twin dragons are chosen, and once these stones deplete their power, they are then shunted away from each other in random directions, and the twin dragons' job are to venture out into the world and gather these 12 stones and bring them back to be utilized again to keep the ward standing strong. Which kind of gets into why we're in the starting location.
Yeah, you just said
when
the reason. You just said what we were going to wait for.
well, that's fine. It's cool, man. But that gets into why we are in our starting location. We have become twin dragons. We are now being sent off to go look for these 12 stones. Also, one more thing in my backstory, something, because I'm sure you're going to ask about drive and things, but my uncle that was a twin dragon, shortly before we left, we got news back from the monastery. Him and his other partner have died in search of these stones. We're not sure where, but we do know they have passed. So that is something that has given Albion a lot of extra drive to kind of avenge his uncle and make sure all these stones are found.
There was a whole lot.
Yeah.
A whole lot there.
Whole
Real
lot.
mouthful. A lot to digest. Gotta get a little settle for a moment. And I don't mean to, like, call you out right now, Mr. Benjamin.
Wow.
But it kind of feels like somebody came to this table with, like, a whole buffet platter just ready to be thrust upon somebody. Like they've been waiting for it for quite a while.
To be fair, he has most of this stuff kind of in his backstory too. He just didn't say it.
Yeah, if I would have said it, what would Rob have talked about?
Well, obviously, he'd talk about things like this. What are some of the things that you think Albion would be passionate about?
Okay, so I got a couple things.
Some more of the stuff that you also talked about, obviously.
For sure, like I said, with his uncle passing, which this is a new revelation, so this is going to be something more prevalent in the game because it's more fresh in his mind, you know? But with his uncle passing, he does have, like, huge drive to get stronger. Dreg and Albion definitely built off one another's drive to kind of push each other forward up to this point, you know, and they continue to do so. But this kind of gave him that extra incentive to, like, no fucking mistakes. This shit's real. Like, the person that I looked up to for my entire life and thought was, like, the cream of the fucking crop, most badass motherfucker on this planet just died. So, like, I've got to get ready kind of thing. Also, about the age of 10, I was inside the monastery, and this little man just came walking in. I remember this man from time to time. He stopped me and said, "You know, son, you look like you're walking a little funny. Your shoes feel good?" I said, "No, sir. My pinky toe just hurts real bad when I
said,
walk.
no, sir.
Just hurts real bad." He said, "Son, let me just take a look at them there shoes." This man, he made me a new pair of shoes because mine were fucked up. And let me tell you, these were the greatest pair of shoes my little 10-year-old feet ever slipped on. And I said, sir, I must know your name, and you must teach me how to make these fantastic shoes. And this man said, you can call me Choblin. Cobbler. Choblin. Shout out to Behold the Roll for letting me name drop that guy. Pretty great NPC. Anyway, so Cobbler Choblin showed me the ways of cobbling shoes. And eventually he gifted me a cobbler's set. For the next 10 years, I perfected my craft of cobbling. And I can make a damn good pair of shoes now.
So whereas Dreg is a tailor and seamster by trade, Albion seems to fancy himself a master cobbler at his age.
Master cobbler.
And you've touched on it a little.
Self-proclaimed master cobbler.
You've touched on it a little bit more than Bren did. The kind of bond that Dreg and Albion share.
Yes.
Is that something that Albion feels is uncompromisable?
What do you mean?
Like, does he believe there's anything that could come between that bond?
Between Albion and Dreg's bond?
Yes.
Not likely. We basically like beat the fuck out of each other every day. Think Natsu and Gray in Fairy Tale. Just like one small thing, like this motherfucker sat next to me too hard and like elbow nudged me. We're just throwing the fuck down, and then we're just best pals right after that. That's kind of our dynamic here.
Not really sure how to approach that.
Oh, we forgot
Oh,
one
here we
very
go.
important thing. We
what did we
both,
forget?
as twin dragons, we both have tattoos.
Oh. Would you like to describe these tattoos?
They're both the same, just in different color variants. We have a tattoo.
No,
of-
yours is probably red, right?
Mine's blue. For cold. So it is a spiraling dragon that comes down our right arm, and then the head kind of curls
Pinky and-
over and kind
Pinky
of
and thumb?
yeah, crest over in between, like on the top of our palm, kind of, or top of our hand.
You look like there's something you want to say, Bren.
Mm-mm.
Is there anything you want to
No.
add to this? No small
Did I fuck it up?
interjections?
Mine's red.
Yeah, his is red.
Shocking.
Yeah,
Color coordinated.
twin dragons. Just think Dragon of the Darkness Flame tattoo.
That's what I was
From
waiting
EA.
on. I was waiting for you to name drop where you got it from.
I like how every time so far. I don't think you did it at all, Bren, but every time you're looking for something, Rob, you're like, how do I get these people to visualize this? How do I give it to them? Oh, I know. I'll just tell them exactly where
The
I pulled
anime
it
st- I
from.
stole it from. Yes.
Really?
I mean, I know you said shit like Vegeta and Kid Gohan, but like that's just character design stuff. You need a body analog to compare body analog to. Like that could be anything. You could have said Geralt of fucking Rivia and like
I got a horse.
surely you've got something comparable though.
Got a camel.
You got a camel.
Do you now? What's the camel's name?
Why? Why'd you ask that?
Well, every time I introduce her,
We'll come right back to you in a second, Rob. But
So just
I feel
let-
like this is important.
just
It
to,
is.
just to let you know, she has two humps, and her name is Lady Humps, but you can call her Lady.
What's her grooming routine?
Shit, I wasn't taught that.
I throw shit home.
I just got this camel. What the fuck you mean?
I don't know how to
I
make
throw
brushes.
shit.
I don't even
fucking
have my own
comb
brush.
hair.
Make this camel some gi pants.
If a camel wore pants, would they wear them like this? Like this?
Well, I can tell you what, the little cloth that you put underneath the saddle, Excellent.
Excellent.
Fucking excellent.
But yeah, back to you, Rob.
Yes.
More on Albion.
Saddles.
Did you happen to do the leather working on lady saddles?
No, but
No.
if camels have shoes,
Only shoes.
only shoes.
They
I'm
only
a cobbler.
They only
What do you want from me?
They only,
Has to be shoes.
I can't fuck with fabric.
they only have toes.
But so Albion, equally as passionate about training as his kind of soul bonded brother Dreg.
Yes, definitely. Like I said, we play off each other's drives, so like we kind of build off one another, and like he'll notice I'm kind of getting a little more intense on training, and that'll drive him to like push it up a notch, and which will drive me to push it up a notch.
Cobbler by trade, training fiend, just the same.
But also,
If
knows how to,
Dreg-
fuck around and find out, so to speak.
if Dreg is yoked to the bone,
I'm definitely like lean cut,
kind of like
Yamcha.
like a
I was gonna say
Like a-
Bruce Lee.
I was- a bigger Bruce Lee, like a slightly bigger. Like how Bruce Lee is probably like 160.
So Jason
You know.
Statham.
Throw about 20 more pounds on that, just still lean.
I think he has hair though.
I do have hair.
Well, no, I was talking about like body type though.
Yeah.
Like he's ripped, but he's
Hey.
lean.
Nothing from the peanut gallery here.
Like fucking Conor McGregor. Dude's like fucking tiny but jacked.
What does Albion expect as a reaction from his father or mother if he ever gets to meet them again?
Well, he hasn't seen him in 10 years, so he doesn't remember a whole lot. He does remember his mother being, sweet and very nice person. He remembers his father being, I don't want to say harsh, but like stern and demanding of greatness.
Strict.
So
High expectations.
very high expectations. He didn't like beat Albion or anything like that.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. It's fine.
As
Don't
far as
remember much.
Albion says.
But like he knows he respects his father, or he remembers that he respects his father greatly, but he doesn't ever remember having any sort of emotional bond with his father, so to speak.
Lacking in compassion.
Right. And so one of his big drives is to like obviously gain his father's respect, because to his knowledge, like he has no memory of his father ever like being proud of him. So like he would like his father to be proud of him and like gain his respect. Up until his uncle died, his uncle, from what he'd ever seen of him, was always great. And so he definitely wanted his uncle's respect. I'm gonna leave it up to you whether or not his uncle came back at any point during the 10 years I was there and I had any interaction with him. But as far as that goes, both of them, he just kind of wants to gain their respect. And then with his mother, he just remembers her very fondly. And if he ever sees her again, he would, be happy, obviously.
But the root of the question, what does he expect if he gets to see them again? Does he think that they would be proud?
He has no idea what to expect from his father. None whatsoever. He hopes that he'll be proud that he's achieved twin dragon status, and he feels like if anything would make him proud, it would be that. But then he also has no idea what the news of his uncle's passing is going to do to his father, because that was his brother. And so he doesn't know how that's going to play into it. And he kind of has a feeling like no matter what, he expects his mom to be proud of him, because he just remembers her being just really sweet and nice, and like kind of no matter what, like as long as you're you, I'm gonna love you and be proud of you. So he kind of doesn't expect anything bad from his mother, but he doesn't know. He's kind of really up in the air on his dad.
If Albion ever had to compare himself to any kind of fruit, what do you think it would be?
Any kind of fruit.
You look like you have an answer, Bren.
I wasn't asked the question.
Or you go first while I think then, because I don't know.
It's pretty fucking obvious. It's a goddamn dragon fruit.
That's hilarious. That's a good one. I can't take that now. I'll go with a nice crisp apple.
Albion sees himself as a kind
Just
of
a
an apple.
nice crisp apple. Something you can sit there and cut up with a knife.
We're
and just-
talking Granny Smith, Red Delicious, Honey Crisp,
Red Delicious.
Red Delicious.
Hell yeah.
So, we've covered a little bit of the drives, a little bit of the home life.
What home?
Some of us have a home.
There's part of it.
Some
There goes.
some
Lost to the wind.
some say I have my home in a pocket dimension.
I've got a bag of holding my dead parents.
Fuck.
You know?
Oh, jeez.
So, still kind of digesting the whole kind of spiel that you come on to every time I ask, like, any question.
What do you mean? Should I have too long of answers?
Maybe.
Sorry.
More
Little
like
bit of a
me.
rambler. It's okay. A lot of people like rambling. They
Hey,
get
man,
free information.
Yeah, I'm just trying to give the people what they want.
If Albion were ever put into a situation where it was make or break, this decision will completely change whether or not he gets to return to the monastery with the knot talismans. But to do it, he has to make a terrible choice that's gonna result in the deaths of, say, 100 people. Where do you think Albion would fall on that?
Just 100.
We're being conservative right now.
I don't think he'd risk the death of 100 people. Like, if it was, like, definitely going to happen, like, these 100 people are going to die, or you get those stones, not talismans, he would not risk the death of 100 people for it. He'd try to save the people and find another way later.
So,
Now,
a
if it was-
morally guided individual.
Yeah.
then.
Now, if it was you get the talismans or you save the 100 people, but if you save the 100 people, you don't ever get the talismans, and then a catastrophic thing is going to kill like 1,000,000 people, then sorry about your luck, kid, but those 100 people got to go.
So morally guided, but at the end of it all, it's a the greater good kind of thing.
Yeah. So, like, I'm not going to just, like, be like, oh, fuck it, it's casualty of war. Like, I'm going to try to save people if I can. But if it's a choice between, like,
Not gonna
a few people dying or,
accidentally
like, a
lightning
catastrophic...
bolts to family members.
No, not. But if it's a choice between, you know, in the grand scheme of thing, a handful of people dying or like a multitude, I'm gonna do what I can to save the multitude.
That's why there's twin dragons. One, if it comes
Yeah,
down to that
one
dilemma.
saves
One
the 100
saves the
people,
people, one
gets
goes
the
and gets
fucking
it.
talisman. I mean, the not talismans. These are not talismans, audience.
Once again, no, zero religious connotations.
So yes. Divide and conquer.
So a little bit on that, Bryn, you're telling me that if Albion says, we must save these people,
Be like, no, we're gonna split up. And
Drake
fucking...
says, you got it, Holmes, I'm gonna go get that rock.
Yes.
That's why we work.
I mean, Drag also just really likes to fight strong people.
Yin yang. You know.
So if he can find a good challenge, he's definitely gonna fight him.
Good to know. Good to know.
Oh yeah, me and him both definitely have that Goku complex. Like you drop an NPC in front of us, we're gonna be like, fight me. Are you stronger than I am? Let's see.
I expect an initiative every session.
Yeah.
Bet.
Y'all dumbasses are gonna come up and try vest, and Kyle's gonna meet you at the gate. Y'all gonna be like,
Fight me. He's going like,
go for it.
you're dead. Sorry.
Well, backup character.
So, sees himself as an apple man, cobbler by trade, super dedicated to improving his physical standing, and a real go-get-em attitude towards the mission he's been given.
And I would suggest, because you asked him kind of in a roundabout way, but didn't really mention it for me. That trying to, gain respect of my father and uncle and all that stuff, that goes into the academic side of the monk training as well. So I would have done my best to do things in that regard.
And it's kind of just part of the course. Like we had to go to school at Monkland.
But as far as the two of you are concerned, Albion cared more about it.
I mean,
Is that what you're saying?
About the studious part?
I'll ask, which one of you has proficiency in history?
I think I took that. I hope I took that.
I don't know if I did.
That's exactly what I expected to hear from you.
Oh, fuck. I don't think I did. Oh, I did.
I did too.
Wow. Shocking.
That's proficiency, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
His history's better
Amazing.
than mine. Yeah. I think his
Give him
intelligence
a
is
round
higher
of
than
applause.
mine.
Both of them
It's a
knows how to
+1.
read a book.
Mine's a +0.
Once again,
What?
it's the same
I'm
thing.
not gonna say it this time.
I chose a little bit better
I
strength.
still think it
over
needs to be an
intelligence.
imposed rule, but
We'll see how campaign 2 goes.
Both dumb as fuck.
I will 100% without hesitation intellect devour your ass. So, growing up in the Tangwu monastery,
Tiger style.
was there anything that Albion ever heard of outside of the monastery, somewhere further away than this small settlement of nowhere, that ever gave him a kind of lust to explore?
I think the only way that would probably be possible is if my uncle had come back to visit and told me stories. So that's, like I said, kind of up to you whether or not he did do that.
Well, I suppose we'll find out the answer to that question in session 0.
I guess we will. I will tell you one other thing that Albion, almost said Alfie, that Albion...
He's dead. He's dead and gone.
Please just let me have it. No, one thing that Albion did take a liking to over the 10 years he's been here is collecting copper pieces that he's found. He is up to 1,100. So, got a pretty fat sack of copper on me.
Jiggle jaggle.
Yup.
So one brother carries a sack of copper pieces and the other brother carries a sack of ashes.
Yep.
Sounds
No
about
relation.
right. Yeah, we're not. We are brothers from other mothers.
Yep.
Well, obviously.
Mine's in
So-
the pouch.
I have a closing question.
Yes. Lay it on.
But before I think I get to that, I'll ask you, do you have any burning inquiry, any one question that you could ask me right now?
Ooh. Okay.
I couldn't ask you that question. I know you'd throw some fuck shit at me, Bren.
I actually have a serious question that I would like
Oh,
to ask.
go for
Maybe
it.
I'll come back to you
Oh,
then.
okay,
I want to
never
hear
mind.
Rob's first.
right. Burning question.
No is also an answer.
No, but I need to take advantage of this opportunity. God, I can't think of one. Damn it, I've been put on the spot and I'm fucking foiling it.
You're fumbling.
I'm fumbling. I'm fucking dropping it at the 1 yard line, guys. Oh, dear God.
You want to think about it for a second?
Yeah, let Bryn answer while I think.
How am I going to answer the question you don't know?
Or let Bryn ask. Sorry.
So I've had a burning question.
Oh, I'm glad to know it's something
For-
you've had to mull over.
Yes, because it's been irritating me. How fast does my camel go? It's not on D&D Beyond, and I don't know.
Here's the thing. Casual 20 feet movement.
No.
No exhaustion.
No, it says in the description, allows you to move quickly through the wilderness. So,
The wilderness of what?
I don't know. It just said
The desert?
Desert is a wilderness.
Okay.
It just says wilderness. So if
You know what quickly in a desert equates to?
it doesn't say
Being
desert.
able to travel during both night and day.
Okay, I mean, I was just figured it would be faster than movement speed. But
Yeah, but we're monks, so like in
Yeah,
a few
that's
levels,
definitely not
nothing's
gonna
gonna be
happen.
I
faster than us.
really want a racing camel.
You gotta pay a premium for a racing camel, Bren.
How much?
Talk to the right man, you might learn. This motherfucker says my burning question is how fast does my camel go?
It's been irritating me, man. Like there's nothing on there. Everything else has a movement speed.
My-
This fucker doesn't.
My burning question may not be able to be answered, but is the plan in which you have placed for us to all come together as an entire party, does it have anything to do with our goal? Or is that going to be just something we hope to
Kind of like a side quest thing.
accomplish as we go if we happen to be in a good area for it?
As far as getting all of you together, I'm hoping you'll line it up the way I want you to.
Well, I mean,
But again,
right.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
no,
That's the caveat.
no, I think if we are
I'm definitely
being
gonna have
good,
to railroad that a little bit.
well, I think if we're being good players and respecting you as a DM,
Look at him. He already knows what you're doing. He
it's
already knows
gonna
the problem
be
here.
rather obvious when you put us all in a situation to where we know that that's the person sitting across the fucking table from us, so we can make things happen to bring us together. Plus, we're gonna discuss that in session 0 and kind of make that apparent to where, you know,
Would you say
we're not
it's-
gonna be a group of a bunch of fucking
I'll go ahead and
assholes that
let, go ahead
hate
and
each
let
other.
both of you know right now. It is going to be a pretty standard. You start in a tavern. kind of thing,
Nice, love
so
it.
I don't know what a tavern is.
I swear to fucking God.
Sheltered. 2 years old.
Oh, you're talking about Dreg. I wholeheartedly believed that you meant you didn't know what a tavern was.
I know what a tavern is.
That's amazing.
We've been to taverns in games before. I know what a fucking tavern is.
Closing question for you,
Been to one in real
Rob,
life.
as Albion.
Yes.
What do you believe that your theme song would be?
It has not to do with what I believe, William. It has everything to do with what is.
Here we go.
And there's one choice, and one choice alone for the
Lay it on
theme
me.
song of Albion. And that is Wu-Tang Clan Ain't Nothing to Fuck With by the Wu-Tang Clan.
No, really?
If you want beef, then bring the ruckus. That's my closing statement.
Is Albion a kind of beef for life guy, or if somebody
no.
crosses him, can he
No,
get
no,
over
no.
pretty quick?
You get beef with Albion, you fucking fight. He either beats the shit out of you, helps you up, brushes the dirt off of you, and you're cool, or you beat the shit out of him, and he gets up, shakes your hand, says, "You're pretty fucking strong. We're going to have to do that again one day," and then we're good. That's how beef gets settled, as far as Albion's concerned. Fucking throw hands, and then you go fucking grab a drink.
Don't even have to bury the hatchet. That motherfucker's just gone then.
Yeah, the hatchet disappears once the fight's over.
All right. Well then, I think we've gained some insight into both Dreg and Albion, and the undoubtedly bloody knuckled filled adventures that we have coming in the near future.
Oh, it's gonna be fantastic.
It's gonna be great.
Do either of you have anything that you may want me to ask the next pair, our friends Trenton and JD, during their interview?
Yeah. Wow, that might be sessions.
Yeah, I kind of think anything I have questions for is a session 0 thing.
All right. Well, I'm glad to know I'm getting so much help from my friends here.
I don't know why you expected anything more.
You know, you're right. I've come to expect nothing from you, Bryn. Somehow, still disappointed. But
Oh shit!
I don't have any more questions.
I think I'm.
Y'all are just some spoiler-hungry motherfuckers, so I don't want to answer any more of yours.
I need that
I
lore.
don't understand how the speed of my camel is spoiler hungry.
But anyways, With my questions settled, and hopefully the hunger of a few of our fans sated, I'd like to thank the two of you for joining me tonight. I'd like to thank our listeners for tuning in. And I hope that our future adventures in a party of 4, hopefully, don't know if anybody's going to die turn 1, but
We are level 3, so chance is always there.
a swift breathe.
Well, isn't one of us a sorcerer? So,
But yeah,
Make you a
I've
post.
got no more questions. Y'all are not at liberty to ask me anymore.
all right.
So I think that will be all for tonight.
Okay.
Thank you, audience, for joining us.
Yes,
and,
be sure to like, comment, subscribe.
interact.
Yes.
Interact.
Please, guys, send us some comments. Join our Discord. Holler at us. We want to fucking talk to you guys. We just, need you to talk to us first so it's not weird.
Holler at your boy.
Yeah, holler at your boys. We're all here. We're just fucking hanging out, ready to answer questions. Just talk to us about your hobbies. We don't give a shit, man.
Tell us
Anyway,
what deck you run in Magic.
exactly, Commander for the win. So,
That's a
since
format.
Trent's not here, I guess it's up to me. Last but not least, have a wonderful day.